Hello everyone, and welcome back to English Unlocked. I'm Peter. Let me ask you something. How do you usually spend your weekend? Do you relax at home, hang out with friends, or do a bit of both? In today's episode, we'll practice real English conversations about weekends. You'll learn how to describe your days naturally, use simple past tense correctly, and sound more confident when talking about your free time. I'll also share a few easy patterns that native speakers use every Monday when they ask, "How was your weekend?" By the end, you'll be able to talk about your weekend fluently and effortlessly, just like in real life. So, if you want more fun, practical lessons like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and share English Unlocked with your friends. That's how you'll unlock even more great lessons every week. Ready? Let's get started. I'm Peter, and today I want to talk with you like a friend. I have been learning English for more than 10 years, and I know it is not easy. Sometimes it feels hard. Sometimes it feels fun. But trust me, every small step matters. Last weekend, I had a really nice time, and I thought, this is a great topic to help you learn real English. We all talk about our weekends, right? It's something we do every Monday at work or with friends. Someone asks, "How was your weekend?" And you want to answer fast, with confidence. That's what we will practice together today. I'll share my story and my friend Emily's story so you can hear how to talk about your weekend in a simple, natural way. We'll use very easy words, no big grammar, no stress. You will learn how to say what you did, what you ate, where you went, and how you felt. And here's the best part. You can use this in real life right after this episode. So stay with me, listen carefully, and speak with me. By the end, you will be ready to talk about your weekend in clear, easy English. If you enjoy this kind of learning, please subscribe, like, and share this podcast. That helps our English family grow, and it gives you more fun lessons every week. All right, my friends, are you ready? Let's begin our story. You know, after so many years of learning English, I found that small, daily topics are the best way to practice. One of the easiest and most useful topics is to talk about your weekend. People everywhere love to ask this question, "How was your weekend?" You can hear it at work, at school, or when you meet your friends on Monday morning. At first, when someone asked me this question, I felt nervous. My mind went blank. I wanted to say something nice, but I didn't know how. I was thinking too much in my language and my words came out slowly. But then I realized it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Talking about your weekend is not only good practice, it helps you connect with people. When you share a small story, like, "I watched a movie," or "I met my friend," you are using real English from your life. That is powerful. It makes you feel more confident. So today, I want to show you how easy it can be. You can start with simple words, short sentences, and still sound natural. Don't worry about mistakes. Even native speakers make them. The most important thing is to speak, to share, and to enjoy the moment. Alright, my friends, now let's move to the next part. I will tell you about my own weekend, and maybe it will give you some ideas for how to talk about yours. Last weekend was a good one for me. After a long week of work, I wanted to rest and have some quiet time. Sometimes, we all need a slow weekend to feel fresh again. So on Saturday morning, I didn't set an alarm. I woke up late, and it felt so good. No rush, no noise, just peace. After I got up, I made a big breakfast. I had coffee, eggs, and some toast. Simple food, but it made me happy. I always say that breakfast is the best part of the weekend. It gives you energy and a good mood for the day. Later in the afternoon, I went to the park near my home. The weather was sunny and warm. There were families, children, and people walking their dogs. I sat on a bench and read a book. It was a small book about animals, very easy and relaxing to read. Sometimes I like to read in nature because it helps me think clearly. When the evening came, I went home, turned on some music, and cooked dinner. I made pasta, simple but tasty. Cooking helps me relax, and it's fun to make something for myself. I listened to slow songs, ate slowly, and enjoyed every bite. That's how my Saturday went. Quiet, simple, but full of peace. I think it's important to have weekends like that. When you take time to rest, your mind becomes calm, and you can enjoy life more. Next, I'll tell you about my friend Emily's weekend. Her day was very different from mine. Now let me tell you about my friend Emily's Saturday. Her day was very different from mine, but it was fun too. In the morning, she cleaned her apartment. Yes, cleaning is not always fun, but Emily likes a tidy home. She put on some music while cleaning, and it made the work easier and even a little enjoyable. After that, in the afternoon, she went shopping with her friend Sarah. They went to a big mall downtown and looked at clothes and shoes. Emily bought a new blue shirt. She was happy because it looked nice on her. Shopping with friends is always fun because you can talk, laugh, and choose things together. After shopping, they were a little tired, so they went to a cafe. Emily had a cup of tea, and Sarah had coffee. They also shared a piece of chocolate cake. It was very sweet and delicious. They talked about many things, laughed a lot, and enjoyed the time together. In the evening, Emily watched a comedy movie at home. She laughed so much, and it made her feel happy after a busy day. It is interesting to see how different our Saturdays were. Mine was quiet and calm, and hers was busy and lively. Both ways are good, and each weekend can be special in its own way. Next, I will tell you about our Sundays and how we spent them. Now let's compare our Saturdays and see something interesting. As I told you, my Saturday was quiet and calm. I slept late, read my book in the park, cooked pasta, and listened to music. I felt relaxed and peaceful all day. Emily's Saturday was very different. She cleaned her home, went shopping with her friend, had tea and chocolate cake, and watched a comedy movie. Her day was busy, active, and full of fun. She laughed a lot and spent time with her friend, which made her very happy. It is amazing how two people can spend the same day in such different ways. Both ways are good. It depends on what you need. Sometimes you want quiet and calm, sometimes you want fun and activity. The important thing is that you enjoy your weekend and feel good. When I compare our Saturdays, I also notice something for learning English. You can tell your story in many ways. You can use simple words like I slept, I went, I ate, and still sound clear. You can also talk about feelings. I was happy, I was relaxed, I felt tired. Sharing your weekend is easy if you practice, and it is a good way to speak real English. Next, I will tell you about our Sundays and how they were different too. Now let's talk about my Sunday. I like my Sundays to be slow and quiet. In the morning, I went for a walk around my neighborhood. The air was fresh and it felt very good. Walking helps me start the day in a calm way. After my walk, I went home and read my book again. I really like this book about animals. It is simple, easy to read, and it makes me happy. Reading in a quiet place helps me think and relax. In the afternoon, I visited my parents. They were very happy to see me. We had lunch together, and my mom cooked chicken and rice, my favorite meal. We talked a lot, and I helped my dad in the garden a little. The flowers were very beautiful, red, yellow, and colorful. In the evening, I stayed at home, watched a little TV, and went to bed early. I wanted to be ready for Monday. It was a peaceful Sunday, full of family, calm, and small happy moments. Spending time with family is very important for me. This kind of day gives you energy and makes your mind relaxed. Next, I will share Emily's Sunday, which was a little different but also very nice. Now let me tell you about Emily's Sunday. Her Sunday was different from mine, but also very nice. In the morning, she went to church. It was peaceful, quiet, and made her feel calm. After church, she went to the farmer's market. The market was full of fresh fruits and vegetables, apples, bananas, tomatoes. Everything looked colorful and healthy. In the afternoon, Emily went home and cooked with the fresh food. She made a big salad with tomatoes and a fruit salad with apples and bananas. She also made some soup. Cooking helps her relax, and she likes to prepare food for the week. It makes her weekdays easier and healthier. After cooking, she was a little tired, so she relaxed on the sofa. She listened to an English podcast. Very good practice for learning. Later, she called her sister, who lives in another city. They talked for about an hour. Hearing her sister's voice made her very happy. Before going to bed, Emily read a book for a little while. Her Sunday was a mix, a little busy, a little relaxing, but full of good feelings. It is interesting to see how different our Sundays were. Both calm and busy weekends are good, and each one gives you something special. Next, I will tell you what I learned from comparing our weekends. After we shared our weekends, I started to think about something important. Our weekends were very different, but both were good. Mine was quiet and calm, and Emily's was a mix of busy and relaxing. This shows that weekends can be different, and that is okay. Sometimes, after a busy week, you need a quiet weekend. You can sleep late, read a book, or relax at home. Other times, if you stayed at home all week, you may want a busy weekend. You can go shopping, meet friends, or cook something special. The important thing is to do what makes you feel happy and relaxed. Weekends are your time. They are for fun, rest, family, and friends. You don't need to copy someone else's weekend. Just find what works for you. From learning English, I noticed that talking about weekends is also a great way to practice. You can tell your story, use simple words, and share your feelings. It helps you speak real English, and it also helps you connect with people. So, whether your weekend is calm or busy, you can always find a way to talk about it in English. Next, I will give you some tips on how to make your weekend stories easy to share. Now, I want to give you some tips on how to talk about your weekend in English. After 10 years of learning, I found that the easiest way is to use simple words and short sentences. You don't need long or difficult sentences. Words like I went, I ate, I watched, or I met are perfect. You can also talk about the time, morning, afternoon, or evening. For example, in the morning I slept late, or in the afternoon I went to the park. It makes your story clear and easy to understand. Don't forget to say how you felt. Simple words work well. I was happy, I was tired, or I was relaxed. Talking about feelings makes your story more real and interesting. You can also mix a little busy and a little calm in your weekend story. For example, I cooked lunch and then relaxed on the sofa. This shows that your day has different moments and makes your story sound natural. Finally, practice is the key. Try to tell your weekend story to a friend, to a family member, or even to yourself. The more you practice, the more confident you become. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. The most important thing is to speak and enjoy English. Next, I will share why talking about your weekend is not only fun but also a very smart way to improve your English fast. Now, after talking about weekends and sharing tips, I want to tell you why this is a very smart way to learn English. When you talk about your weekend, you use real words from your life. You do not need difficult grammar or strange words. You just tell a story about yourself, and that makes learning English easier and more fun. Also, sharing your weekend helps you practice speaking every week. If you do it every Monday, your English becomes more natural and faster. You start to think in English, not in your own language. That is very important because thinking in English makes speaking easier. Another thing I noticed is that talking about your weekend connects you with people. When you tell your story to friends or family, they listen and respond. You learn new words from them and you feel more confident. Finally, remember this: weekends are special and your story is special too. It does not need to be perfect. The important thing is to speak, share, and enjoy the process. Even a small sentence like, I slept late, or I ate pasta, is already good practice. So, my friends, try to share your weekend in English. It is fun, it is easy, and it helps you improve every week. Keep practicing, stay happy, and remember, every small story makes your English better and stronger. So, to finish today's episode, here are 2 simple tips from our weekend story. Tip 1. Talk about your own life in English every week. Even small stories like I cooked or I walked in the park help you practice real English. Tip 2. Use simple words and short sentences, and don't be afraid to share how you feel. It makes your English natural and easy to understand. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to English Unlocked for more fun and easy lessons. Like and share with your friends so we can keep learning together. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.